All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the September 19th, 2025 Agribotics Working Group meeting. We'll start off with new membership this morning. We have a few people on the list. However, I don't believe I see any of them in the meeting. If I missed you or if you are new and would like the chance to introduce yourself, please do so now. No? All right then. In that case, we're going to head straight on into our presentation for this morning. So everybody, I would like to welcome Dr. Varinder Sidhu, pardon me. Uh, Varinder is from a company called PlantTape. They have an automated transplanting system, and he's here to tell us all about it this morning. So Varinder, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I will start sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
We can, however, it is not in presentation mode.
How about now?
Yep, you're all set.
Okay, perfect. Yes, thank you so much, everyone.
Too big or something?
Sorry, everyone. Just a reminder, please mute your mics if you are not speaking. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead, Rinder.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Varinder Sidhu, and I'm based out in Quebec, and I work for PlantTape, and I appreciate everyone for joining in today for this presentation. So starting with PlantTape. So PlantTape is an automated transplanting system. It is world's most advanced, efficient, and flexible process of sowing, germination, and transplanting of crops. I mentioned crops here. We are mainly known for vegetables, but we also have different crops such as hemp that we do transplanting of. So how PlantTape started? Let me see why it's not. Excuse me. Okay, so I'll go with that. So the PlantTape was basically PlantTape technology had originally started in Spain. And in 2012, farm Tenimura and Antle. So Tenimura and Antle is a 40,000 acre vegetable farm down in Salinas, California. They saw this technology and they wanted to see it in their own operations. So they brought this technology in 2012 to see how it works, and they liked it so much. And in 2014, they acquired this technology, and they run it for 2-3 years, and then they were like, hey, this technology is working great for us, so why don't we let other vegetable growers take advantage of it? So they started it as a separate company, PlantTape USA, and they started commercializing it. And in 2018, we made our first sale in North America and Europe. And fast forward to 2025 today, we have a 5 sowing facility across 3 continents, North America, Europe, and Australia. And for all the Canadian customers, we do the sowing in New Jersey. So what kind of products that we have? So we have a PlantTape. PlantTape is basically we ask the so what we do is we ask the customers to send us their seeds, and in our at our sowing facility, we put those seeds into the tape, and then depending on how customer like it, if they want to grow their own plants, we ship those seeder trays back to the customer facility, or we also work with the plant propagator greenhouses in Canada or in US, all across the world. So we send those seeder trays to the companies, to the propagator, and they transplant it. They produce high quality transplant, and then we bring our transplanter, and then we transplant at a speed of 3 to 5 acres per hour. So so we have two products. So one is the PlantTape, and then the second one is the transplanters. So transplanters, so we have two different transplanters. So we this one we call it a GK machine, which is a really heavy duty build. We call it it's built like a tank. Um, so this weighs about 7,000 pounds, and so this works great in all the conditions. But when we started working in Canada, we saw that the especially in Quebec, most of the growers have a muck soil. So when they like early in, they want to go in the field as early as possible, but the field conditions are not ideal. The conditions are wet, or even if it rains. So then planting with this 7,000 pound machine was hard. And so we came up with a new design. And so we came up with the lightweight planter, which is about half of the weight than the other planter. So basically, main heart of the machine are the modules. So the things that are here. So what they're doing is, so we are feeding the tape into uh, the into the plant, and then it is going through the modules. So there is a cutter that is cutting every single plant, and then it is being planted. So at the bottom of these modules, we have a shoes, which is making the drench into the field. And as the plant placed into the soil, we have a packer wheels at the backside of the machine, which is packing those transplants. So both the machines have the same type of modules, and then you can move the module from GK machine to transplanter. So they're basically universal. What is the main benefit that we provide? So the speed is one of it. So our transplanter, so with the traditional transplanting system in vegetables, so what the farmers are doing, they use a chichi machine, which we call. So it is, they have a revolving um, circle where they have a hole. So you would be putting your block transplants into it. You have six people sitting on the machine, and then you have six people handing you the trays, and then two, three people are following behind the machine. So that is the traditional way, which is, you have about 15 employees working for transplanting, and then they would do like 10 hours a day and then plant like 8 acres. And that is the crunch system that most of the vegetable producer uses. And some farmers in the Lamington area or in Quebec, they also use manual labor. They do hand transplanting. So they do like 8 acres per day with 15 people. And with our transplanting system, you can do about 2 to 7 acres per hour. And ideal conditions, you would do like 3 to 5 acres per hour. And then you can do, if you do 10 hours of operation, you could definitely do like 15, 20 acres without any problems. So, and another efficiency of our system is the tray size. So our tray is about um, 31 inches by 15 inches, and it accommodate 840 plants. And what I mean by that is like you can fit about 1 million plug or transplants in 5,000 square feet area. And we let our um, transplants grow depending on the crop. For lettuce, it takes about 20, 25 days until it's ready. And for the employees, we need only two people on the machine who are just clipping, and then the one guy is following, making sure everything is good. And that is only during the beginning of the season. And later in the season, when the guys who are clipping, they're aware what they're doing, it gets eliminated, the third guy as well. So it is really an efficient method of transplanting uh, as of today. Yeah. And across the PlantTape is now all across Canada from west to east. We have growers in British Columbia, Saskatchewan, and then most of our PlantTape is being grown in Quebec. So most of the vegetable growers are here. They're using either lightweight or GK machine for their vegetable production, such as lettuce, or brassicas romaine. And the interesting story about PlantTape is, especially from the east side, is Nova Scotia. So we have 100% of the vegetable growers are doing PlantTape now in Nova Scotia. And Ontario, we are working with few growers, and we want to apart from those two designs of transplanter, we also have different machines that are suited for tomatoes. There's and some growers they like to cover more ground, so have a wider machines as well. We can manufacture the machines based on what the growers would like to do and how much planting he has to done in a day, basically. So I'm going to show you one video. I gave you a lot of theoretical information, I guess, and then now you will see how we do things in action. Are you able to hear the sound, Dan?
No, I can't hear.
Oh, there is no sound?
No, can't hear any sound coming through.
Oh, really? Okay, let me figure this out then. Still no?
Nope. The video is playing, but just no sound. We may need to just see it visually.
Yeah.
Sometimes the presentations over Zoom can be finicky.
Okay, any suggestion how we can
I've personally I've never used Prezi, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We may just need to watch the video.
I apologize for this.
Well, that's all right. It happens.
But you can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
So
Yep.
I will be speaking as we go through the presentations, through the video, sorry.
Sure. That works great.
Mhm.
In a time where labor and food demand is increasing,
Oh, now the sound is playing.
for growing
Yeah?
business efficiently,
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
than ever before.
Yes, yes.
There is a brand new transplanting system that uses automation, drastically improving the return on your hard work and investments. PlantTape, an automated transplanting system, is aimed at drastically reducing labor needs, increasing efficiencies at the nursery, and providing a stronger, more uniform plant in the field. The revolutionary PlantTape system uses a three-step process to sow the seed. Once the customer's provided seed is delivered to a PlantTape sowing facility, the process begins by sowing the seed into the PlantTape material. The PlantTape material is a blend of peat, cocoa, and vermiculite sandwiched between two layers of tape. Since all PlantTape construction starts with new materials, the tape is free from any bacteria, microorganisms, and disease. At the start, a vacuum seeder places seed into the tape where a precision-placed dipple has been made for accurate seed placement. From here, a small amount of filler material is added to stabilize the seed. Next, the top layer is applied and sealed to the seeded bottom layer tape, which secures the seed and completes the PlantTape sewing process. Here, the finished PlantTape material is cut into 21 individual strips. The individual strips are stacked in an interlocking zigzag fashion to maximize plant density in the tray. Each tray contains 840 plants. Once finished, the completed trays are then automatically stacked and delivered to the end of the sewing line. Placed onto pallets, the seeded trays are ready for shipping to the nursery for germination. The sewing of PlantTape is done under dry conditions to ensure the seed will not germinate until the desired time. The ability to ship and store seed in the tape can be a great advantage during seasonal fluctuations and varying logistics, as the seed will not germinate until the tape is wet. Once delivered to the nursery, the germination process can begin with standard irrigation methods. Nursery space is better utilized with PlantTape due to its higher plant density per square foot and shorter residency time. On average, PlantTape requires 20 to 30 days growing time in the nursery before transplanting, which allows for more nursery crop rotations in a season. Unlike conventional transplants, PlantTape does not require a plant to reach a certain stage of maturity before transplanting. Being able to plant at any stage of maturity allows growers greater flexibility to plant early or later than expected to avoid unfavorable weather or accommodate a changing schedule. With the PlantTape growing material contained in the tape, there is no reliance on the plant's root structure to bind to the transplanting soil like a traditional transplant. The PlantTape roots are left free to naturally develop, which creates strong tap roots that are vital for uniform and healthy plant growth. When plants are ready for transplanting, they are loaded into bins for easy transportation to the field. A standard PlantTape bin has a capacity for 108 trays and can be easily positioned in the field to maximize transplanting efficiencies. Once delivered to the field, the trays are easily loaded onto the PlantTape transplanter racks, which can carry 68 trays. The PlantTape transplanter is mounted to the tractor via a standard 3-point hitch and can be quickly adjusted to accommodate 60 to 84-inch bed sizes. Depending on the bed size, the planter can accommodate planting 1 to 8 lines of plants. Utilizing just a tractor driver and 1 to 2 employees on the transplanter, the PlantTape system offers a reliable solution to current labor challenges that face the agriculture industry worldwide. The automated transplanting process starts by placing the PlantTape into the planting modules, where it is automatically pulled from a tray, cut, and placed into the ground. This is a great advantage as the PlantTape system does not require the plants to be physically pulled from the nursery tray by hand, which damages the plant and root system. Because the plant and roots are never disturbed during the transplanting process, there is much less shock to the plant compared to conventional transplanting methods. As the tape enters the planting module, it is positioned in front of the pusher fingers, where each plant is cut into an individual piece of tape and precisely placed into the ground at the grower's desired spacing and depth. A clip is used to connect trays by linking one end of the plant tape to another, allowing for a continuous stream of plants into the ground without the need to stop. With the ability to adjust bed top pressure, individual modules, and a planting shoe measuring only 3/8 inch thick, the PlantTape transplanter can handle all soil types, including wet and challenging conditions, as it does not disturb the soil like a traditional transplanter. Line-to-line spacing and wheelbase widths are easily adjusted through a common threaded shaft that allows the PlantTape transplanter to quickly accommodate various plants.
So yes, so that covers most of the operations, and following that was just adjustment for the transplanter. So now the main advantage that I see and the farmers like to see in their field is, they want to see all of their crop uniform. So, all of the images that I'm going to show you are, taken from the field either by myself or my colleague Dominic. So, you would, with PlantTape, you would see the crops really uniform all across the field. So I'm going to share some pictures of that. So these are some, vegetables, lettuce and broccoli and kale. So yeah, this is how romaine will look like. Iceberg, broccoli, kale, and yeah. So yes. So and we also do, apart from those lettuce varieties, we do celery, cilantro, parsley, tomatoes. And these are some pictures from the field. Cabbage and you have some onions and parsley and some broccoli. So yes. And yeah, that's about it. And so few challenges that we are having with onions is the plant tape remains kind of stuck to the bottom part of it, and we are currently working on a system where we uh, we we are basically trying to degrade it. So uh, yeah, so with the onions, we are having a little bit of issues, but for the other vegetable crops, the system is working great. And now I'm ready to take any question that you have.
Excellent. Thanks so much for the presentation, Varinder.
Mhm.
Yeah, as he said, were there any questions on the technology? Nevin, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation, Varinder. Have you run any numbers quantifying the return on investment for producers that have adopted your technology? It looks pretty advanced based on what you've shared with us this morning in terms of commercialization and adoption at the field level. Um, do you have any case studies where you've been able to quantify the return on investment?
Uh, I don't have particular numbers, but so in terms of like if we take into consideration the amount of labor cost it could cut, the the cost of the machine can be covered in 1.5 year. So that is just the transplanter. But so the another product is the PlantTape. So PlantTape is the reoccurring the cost for the growers, but with if you compare it with the current system that they have, it is similar. So, but that is the reoccurring cost. But in terms of transplanter, you can cover that in 1.5 years.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just a very interesting concept, as we look at automation and new technologies for different crops and different applications.
Mhm.
It's interesting to see in this situation, you've introduced essentially a whole new system of vegetable production. So it'll be interesting to see the economic case behind that and how that's obviously it's addressed labor issues and
Mhm.
created some efficiencies, but it would be interesting to see the economic analysis of this system versus um, you know past practice. So it looks very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and another thing I would like to share, I think so, we recently started working with a grower in Saskatchewan, and they have a major problem with the labor, right? They don't have as frequent labor. So most of the growers in Saskatchewan area, they're doing cereal crops, like they're doing canola, wheat, corn maybe. And so one of our customer, they recently acquired PlantTape about 3 years ago, and they are now doing the volume that they never thought they could do with the vegetables because the labor was such an issue. So now with PlantTape, they're doing like 50, 70 million plugs with us. So I think it is definitely, this technology definitely can change the agriculture production toward the West area, West Canada. So it is definitely remarkable technology. Mhm.
Excellent. We had another question in the chat. Can you source the material, such as like the vermiculite and what makes up the plant tape, that surrounds the seed from Canadian sources?
Uh, like, do you want to know like what are the sources or like I didn't understand, sorry.
Sure, sure. I think he's just asking, I guess it could be split into a two-part, is where is the material currently sourced from,
Mhm.
and or could it be sourced from somewhere in Canada?
So currently, I think we are working with a company called Lambert for the for the substrate, the whole finished material. So that is basically coming from Lambert, which is a Canadian company, and depending on where the sewing facility is, so like for the Europe, I think most of their substrate materials are coming from local suppliers, and for Australia, it's the same case. But so right now we don't have a sewing facility in Canada, but the sewing facilities in US, they're all sourcing their finished material, which is a substrate from Lambert. Mhm.
Okay, interesting. Caesar, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, awesome plug and awesome presentation. Thank you. It makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you are comfortable sharing with this or if you can, but what is approximately ballpark the cost per plug? Like seed not included, just seeding and tape.
So for the seeding, we charge $16 for 1,000 seeds placed into the tape. That is the cost for the Canadian customers. And for the transplanters, so you asked for the seeding, correct? Only?
Yeah, let's say like a tray ready to
Yeah,
for germination.
it so I mean, yes, so that is our cost for the seeding only. And then if you want those transplants to be grown, then that becomes a question for the third party plant propagator. And then that they have a different ranges of prices for depending on the plant propagator that you work with.
So you say, sorry, $16 per 1,000 seeds?
Correct.
Okay. And that includes that includes substrate tape and not
Everything.
seed. I guess the seed is an additional cost depending on what you chose.
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, we ask our customers to send us the seeds at our sowing facility, and then from that, within 2 weeks, we will send you the seeded trays. And then, if you want to grow your own plants, as most of our customer does, so we will ship you back those seeded trays, and then you grow them. And once you're ready, we'll bring our transplanter to for the trial, and then if you like the system, you like the transplanter, how it works, then you go ahead with the system overall.
Cool. Does it have any reusable part? That is there like a frame on which you put your tape that you send back to your facilities?
So to return the trays, so most of the farmers, they use bins, as you have seen in the video. So we use those bins to transport the transplants basically. But for the seeder trays, we will give you the trays. As soon as you're done with your transplanting, you will return us those trays, and then that's how we work with the customers basically.
Interesting. I would be concerned in that case about biosecurity because there's a high risk of sending back something with some sort of disease that might propagate if you're switching between, like you're mixing trays between growers. What is your disinfection technology for those trays?
So we, before we start seeding, all the trays are sanitized, and I don't I don't know the name of the technology that we use to clear out those trays, but we clear out as we shown in the video as well. We make sure all the trays are cleaned properly before the seeding is done into those trays, and they're not mixed among farmers. Like we don't move from one farm to the another. It just, we seed the trays, we send it to the growers, and as soon as the grower is done, they will ship it back to us. We will clean it, and then we will reseed it for the next season.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Caesar. Were there any other questions for Varinder? No? All right. Well, Varinder, thank you so much for taking the time to present to us this morning. I think it's a really neat technology, and I appreciate the chance to learn about it.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. And thanks everybody for your questions. Okay. In that case, we'll continue on with the agenda. We don't have any new project updates for this week, so we'll head into the round table. So this is the chance for anybody to ask any questions, let folks know about things that are coming up, interesting thoughts. The floor is yours if anybody has anything they'd like to discuss.
I always wait for someone else to go first.
Chuck, are you going to be at the GC Expo event next week in Ottawa?
Yes, I am.
Great. Well,
Look forward to seeing you there.
yeah, I'll be there, so look out for me. I'm going to.
Good. Yep. When are you heading up, Ian?
Probably early Tuesday because I've got some other work to do.
Yeah, I'll be driving up on Tuesday as well, and should be a good event. I had a meeting this week. Actually, he came to our location to kind of scope out the Ontario market from Verdant Robotics out of California. And so I spent an afternoon with their with one of their salespeople. So Verdant Robotics is they've been around since about 2020-ish, and they have a high precision sprayer. And for those of you who are at the Bradford Day and saw the Eco Robotics precision sprayer, I don't want to say that it's the same because it's not the same. But what it is, it's a 20-foot or a customizable sprayer module. And what Verdant does differently than the other companies is they have a turret that can actually angle the spray. So they have less nozzles, and those nozzles can move and turn and spray under a plant if it needs to. And so they have a pretty neat technology. I saw it in person back in 2023-ish, 2022-ish in California. So this is kind of a good update. They are getting some traction in the marketplace as well. One of the interesting things is a market they would like to go after is organic and soybean production. Not necessarily corn, but they are interested in that marketplace, which is a bit unique. And I'm trying to encourage them to send a machine up to Ontario for trials for the 2026 season. And I'll keep the group posted if we can get one of those machines up here for on a trial basis. So I'll let you guys know.
Excellent. Well, sounds cool. Ian?
So I was at the show last week, with a bunch of other people there, and it was interesting to go around and see the farmer interest in robotic stuff. I went and talked to the Rain 360 people. Well, it's Grand River Robotics, and Fergus is the distributor for it. And they've got 5 on the ground, well, 3 on the ground pumping water out already, and 2 more done by fall. It's probably time to see if we could get Henry or one of the other people from there and one of the farmers on one of our calls and give us an update on what the first year has been like, and people interested in that.
Seeing some
I'll try
nodding
and
head.
set that up with.
Oh yeah, for
with
sure.
you and Dan.
Yep.
Excellent. Thanks, Ian.
And again, a tremendous amount of interest in spray drones, and they got the new DJI out and stuff like that. But I'm worried that somebody's gonna upset the apple cart because the feds are not on board yet, and there's
there's so the story was, the anecdotal story was that there's 2 cases of spray injury from dicamba, from drone use of dicamba. I don't know if it's true or not. It's not. I don't have any facts, so a lie to me is a lie from me. The but that's the story, and you know as well as I do, people are going to violate the space. And interestingly enough, so we've done just over 500 acres of cover crop seeding with our T50 just in the last week. It's gone pretty well. Logistics are everything with these drones, and so I think we're going to probably keep charging down that path that we started a couple of years ago.
So Ian,
So-
why do you think the feds aren't on board?
Because it has to be on the label, and there's one product that has a label for it, and it's garland for industrial vegetation use. There's no agriculture uses yet. There's research permits that have been going on that Jason DeVoe has been involved in. They were actually out. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. They were actually out on Saturday with the new T100 playing with that, and they found some interesting things because it has to operate quite fast and quite high compared to what we've been used to. So there's some interesting things that need to be sort of worked out there. But no pesticides allowed to be applied if its use is not on the label, and there's none of that. And I know some of the companies are nervous about how people are going to use it, and I've heard that some of the companies are even talking about having their own training in addition to any training the government might add to allow people to buy the product for that use. So if people mess it up, it's just going to make it messy for everybody, right? That's the issue.
Well, companies are worried about liability.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
100%.
sure. And what I find interesting as well related to that is that, the push has been on bigger and faster with these drones, right? And you can sure hear the same old logic. You know what I mean? Let's go bigger and way less interest. Like 5 years ago, everyone was talking about how there's going to be a swarm of 5. We're going to have 5 drones, and they're all going to be light and small, and away they're going to go. And that has pretty much gone by the wayside. And now all the talk on drones is a giant drone. And they're talking about the one that's going to be 3 times the size of the T100 coming out. And essentially, they're all just little mini helicopters, is really what they are. And what I worry about is the logistics of, like, the appeal of a small drone is that, one person can lift it off the truck and go spray the field and go deal with it. But the T100, like even the T50, takes 2 people, and so now you have eliminated that whole simplicity factor, and you've gone to, you need a trailer and a truck and generators and tanks and stands, and suddenly it's a menagerie coming to the field. I'm curious. I'd be curious to know where why the idea of swarming the drones is disappearing. It really quickly. I'm just curious about that. That's all. I don't have an answer to it, but I'm thinking we should, at some point, we might want a drone person to come and maybe talk about that.
And Chuck, the other thing I was going to ask you on behalf of the group is, we don't hear that much from the big OEMs, but and I'm terrible with names, but Andrew, I think it is, that you and I had connection with at AGCO in Georgia. We should be sort of getting on the phone and seeing if we could coerce him into coming on one Friday and telling us about what the big guys are doing.
Well, what I found interesting is John Deere now has a vineyard and vegetable crop division for technology, which they never had before. So that's brand new. And they're making a presentation at FIRA in which that's new for them. Case New Holland through Raven has announced that they want to start focusing on vegetable crops and high value crops. And so I think we're starting to see these OEMs enter the technology space, which has currently been left uninhabited. And
But I
you
don't know
know,
if it is completely uninhabited, because when
but
we look at what AGCO had been doing with the Xavier and stuff like
yeah,
that, there has been work going on.
yeah,
They've just been quite quiet about it.
yeah. So now they're starting to be more public about that now. So I think we're going to see some more on this.
It's all exciting though, boy. Like, it's a lot of stuff is going to change here in the next few years.
You'll probably get somebody from Indro. Maybe I'll talk next week when I'm at Area XO to talk about the Canada drone use.
Mhm.
And Matt Vendrig from out west is a good speaker as well, a good Canadian that we could talk to about drone use as well.
Absolutely. I always appreciate any leads for speakers to help fill out our calendar.
I was at a presentation for AMC, Agricultural Manufacturers of Canada, and there was a gentleman from the latest aerospace. Can't recall his name, but he was very, very knowledgeable about the regulations as well as the changes in regulations that were coming. I can
Yeah,
approach him and see if he'd like to come
yeah,
in.
yeah. And I think it's more so I'm more interested in where the drone's going, like from the manufacturer standpoint. Like, what are they seeing as far as customer pull? That's I'm just curious about that more so than the regulations.
But I'm quite interested in us as a working group keeping on top of the feds and the province from the standpoint of moving autonomous equipment between fields and stuff like that, right? Because I know with our current scale, it's a robot that goes in the field and kind of tends to stay there. But if you start getting into an ag bot and stuff like that, you're going to want to move that from field to field, and we sure don't want to have to stick them on a trailer every time.
Thank you everybody for sending in all the drone company options and suggestions. We could almost just do a panel on it, have them all in at once, and then they can fight about it. Bridget.
I was gonna say to the panel thing, like I'm almost wondering if we do two panels, one which is just drones and the technology and where they're going, and the other one which is to Ian's point, like the movement of the autonomous equipment between fields and like that side of the regulations.
Yeah.
And Chuck, what about customers of yours that have purchased drones and have had some experience with them? It'd be interesting to have them come on and do a Q&A with us from the standpoint of, like, how's it going? What needs to change? How can the Ag Robotics Work Group support, their problems and possible solutions?
Yeah, I think I can talk to a couple of them. I think for some of the farmers who own their own drone, they're not going to be willing to come on publicly and admit what they're doing with them. So
I
that's
was
going to be
thinking more
challenging.
of Mark and the Roboti and stuff like that,
Yeah,
not the drones.
but I think for people that are using the robotics for sure, and that's one of my we've been asked on another from another group from the Organic Council to find some farmers to talk about the robotic use as well. So we'll be working on that the next couple of weeks, and I'll keep you posted as to what the farmer receptiveness is to talk about their experiences.
Well, and we find this all the time trying to get farmers to come and chat with us and stuff. They're nervous about it, right? But you don't tell them we're putting them on the stage themselves. We're going to have a panel that will, have that interaction with them. It's essentially we're creating an environment for a conversation, and that
Right.
makes them calmer about it.
Yeah, and I think like Mel Foster is going to be talking about the Oz use at Area XO in pumpkins that he used on with the crop. So that'll be talked about next week. So we'll see how that goes.
There was a question in the chat from Kristen. Has anyone heard of increased tickets or traffic violations to farmers from MTO transported self-propelled equipment, not necessarily autonomous?
I've heard nothing recently, Kristen, but to this, it's usually harvest time, for the soybean and corn crop is usually when this stuff kind of raises its head. I know that there were a couple of speeding tickets issued for custom application equipment going too fast through towns, but I haven't heard anything recently.
Okay, thanks. We just had a couple of things come in that sounded, they're wondering if it was robotics, but to me it didn't sound like it was anything like new or robotics. It just sounded like regular equipment. So just double checking. Thanks.
David, go ahead.
Is anybody manufacturing drones in Canada, or is this all offshore stuff we're just using?
There's a handful of companies. There's a few. There's, I believe, one in Ontario, one in Quebec, and one in Saskatchewan, but it's not many of them. And not necessarily are they focused on agriculture. I think DGI's really taken up all the agricultural market, or the interest of it rather, because the ones that are in North America seem to be more focused on military. Because the military market, they have more money, and the components, if they're not made in Asia, honestly, most of the components and the subcomponents are already made in Asia. But the military is the only market that has the money to afford them right now until they scale up to larger manufacturing.
Yeah, because we have a startup that is working with our unit anyway, and they're military focused, and they have offices in Estonia, and they're focused on Ukraine.
Yeah, Precision AI in Saskatchewan, who we've supported through various challenges and other funding programs from AFC. I think they manufacture, and they have an interesting model, this kind of parasail drone that's supposed to enable the drone to stay up longer and carry heavier loads. So that's an interesting technology. There's another guy we could put you in touch with if you're going to plan a panel. He's an interesting guy.
Yeah, the company in Ontario's Flash Forest. It's like a reforestation drone. But I believe they may have just uprooted their operations to Africa because they got a big project down there.
Hi, good morning.
Go ahead.
Hi. Hi. My name is Devika. I'm the founder of Usage Innovations. I just landed 2 months back in Canada. We have a 5-year-old company in India that we manufacture drones for agriculture. So as a part of expansion, we just landed here, and I'm in talking with different collaborators and universities for developing the drones for the Canadian agriculture ecosystem. We have 10-liter, 30-liter drones for spraying precision farming technologies. We have 2 types of drones. One is for identifying the issues in the field, and another is for spraying. And one drone will analyze the chlorophyll data of the field and collect the data. And we can identify the nutrient deficiencies, pest attacks from these data. And our drone used to spray the particular nutrients to the affected areas only. So farmer may not to apply the foliar application the whole area. And we worked with more than 10,000 farmers in India, and we sold more than 300 plus drones around India. And here we are landed and incorporated our company here, and we just started the operations right now. So much of discussions are ongoing. That's why I just want to.
Thanks, Devika. Nice to meet you. If you want to throw your company name in the chat as well, we will
sure.
connect with you afterwards. And I'm just going to jump in on Dan's behalf because I think he's having some computer issues. He just messaged, so I will take it from here until he's able to get unfrozen again.
I thought he was just being able to stand really, really still.
Yeah.
The other local one, I think, and Chuck, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, would be Upside Robotics. Are they making those here?
As far as I know, but the components are not. I'm not sure where the components. I can't say where they're coming from.
Yeah. But again, I've been trying to get in touch with them and they seem to be very busy, but it'd be neat to have an update from them again on successes and failures. And again, what could the Ag Robotics work group for a local startup like that?
Yeah, I know they're assembling it all here, but I think the sourcing of all the stuff is from wherever they get it from, which is typical.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you both, and welcome back, Dan, if you are in fact back.
Yes, I am. Sorry, I don't know where we were. Do you want me to continue?
It's all good. So we were just wrapping up the roundtable. We just got a few more introductions and drone companies. So you can take it from here with the remainder of the meeting if you'd like.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, sorry, so I missed what was last said, but did anybody, we have a few minutes left if anybody had anything else for the roundtable. We do, so as already mentioned, we do have the GC Expo coming up on the 24th in Ottawa, and on the same day is the Conestoga Biotech Research and Innovation Hub launch, which is in Kitchener. So that's on the same day if you can't make it to Ottawa. We do not have any new funding opportunities for this week. But we do have some new articles listed at the bottom of the agenda for anyone to keep up to date on what is going on in the industry. Yeah, so that's all. I didn't have as much as I thought. I thought I had a couple more things, but I didn't. Go ahead, Bridget.
So I'll just jump in as well. Caesar had kind of mentioned this to me at one of the demo events we ran 2 weeks ago, the Berry Growers Twilight meeting. But for folks, just start thinking about next year and what research projects you might want to be submitting. We do have funding starting in March 2026 for the next growing season through the working group. So what I will say that we're probably going to be looking at options that can compare conventional versus the robotic technology, because that's the one thing we've heard over and over again from this working group is having a better idea of calculating the ROI. If it's just a robot, it doesn't help us. We want to see both. So as you start to think about what you might want to submit for those, just keep in mind we are looking for a side-by-side comparison. And if you're looking for more information on what is available for the funding, it is up on the working group website, but I will throw the link into the chat as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Bridget. Caesar?
Yeah, thanks. Bridget mentioned I'm muted. No, I'm not muted. Let me turn on my camera. I'm pretty sure you have shared this already, but as a reminder, on October 24th is the Ontario Pest Management Conference. The registration is open, and this year is going to be about drones. So aerial applications for pest management. So I think it's going to be quite interesting for most people in this group. And there's going to be a presentation about this product that Ian mentioned earlier, Carlon herbicide. So Angela from Cortiva will be doing a presentation, and she will be speaking about the whole registration process and how this product is being used. So
Thanks, Caesar. Would you mind dropping a link to the registration in the chat?
Absolutely, I'll do it right now. Thank you.
Perfect. Appreciate it. Okay. So I think that brings us to the end of our meeting for today. So once again, thank you very much, Varinder, for taking the time to present to the group today. We really appreciate it. everybody, thank you for your great questions and additions during the roundtable. We will be back on the 26th, next Friday. So everybody have themselves a great weekend, and we will see you there.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Thanks a lot.